Welcome back to yet another lecture. Hello guys and welcome back to our lecture 2. This is our JavaScript playlist, okay, and module 1 lecture 2. So in this lecture we are going to study variables. So in the previous video I have written this code using this script tag, and I have shown you how to link a JavaScript file to an HTML file, okay, and I have shown you how to use multiple scripts, okay, in a single web page and lots of other things. So if you haven't watched the previous video, then go back and watch that. And after that we are starting from our today's lecture, and that is variables. So let me tell you what is variables. But before that, we need to understand this with the help of a real world example. So let's say you want to make an online shop, okay? So what is that thing that your application needs to deal with? Like the goodies that you are solding, okay? Or a shopping cart you need to manage, or the persons that are visiting your online shop, okay, their data. Or if you want to make a chat application, let's say, then the application needs to handle the data such as who are the users, what are their messages, and much more things, okay, like at what time they messaged, and there are lots of other information that your application needs to work with, okay. So you can see that two examples I have written here, okay. So how an application is going to handle all of this data? So for this thing we have made a concept known as variable. So there is a concept in every programming language called variable. So what is variable? I will just say that imagine it like a container or a box, okay, which can hold a particular thing, okay. Let's say you want to store your pencil in it, just put your pencil, and after some time you say no, I want to keep my mouse in it, okay. You can keep that. You just take the pencil out of it and keep your mouse. So basically variable is a named storage, and you have to name that box a particular, you have to give it a name, okay, so that you can recognize it. So friends, variable is just a named storage for storing a particular set of data. You can see here from this definition, okay. So let's now understand this in our code editor. So here I am in my code editor again, and now you need to just go to this JavaScript file, but before that make sure that your HTML and JavaScript files are linked together, okay, like this script tag, and inside that you have to mention the source attribute, and that source should be script.js because these two are contained within the same folder, okay. And after this just head back to your JavaScript file and let's start writing some code. So the first thing that I want to tell you, to make a variable or a container, you have to use this let keyword in JavaScript, and you have to then give it a name. So here I am giving a name message, okay. So here I have basically made a box which is labeled as message, and now I can store anything inside this using the assignment operator, and let me show you how. So here I just need to write this message, that is the name of the container, and then this equals to, which is known as assignment operator. And now let's say I want to store my name in it, or let's say I want to store this John name in it. So you just need to assign John, which is a string, so we have to wrap this inside this single quotes or double quotes, okay. So now this message variable or this box is holding some value, and that is John, okay. So what it is doing, actually I will comment it out here. So store the string, it is basically storing a string value, okay. And how we should confirm this? So it's very simple. All you need to do is to write here an alert saying alert message, okay. Inside this parenthesis you have to pass what you want to show as an alert. So I want to show this message as an alert, okay. And remember that to end a statement in JavaScript you need to use this semicolon, okay, this semicolon at the end of each statement. Now just save this using Ctrl S or Command S and head back to your desktop, okay. So here I am on my desktop where I have created this project folder. You can see this JavaScript folder, Now just open it and double click on this index.html file, and as soon as you do this, then it's going to open in your default web browser. So here, because I'm using my Chrome, so it's opening in my Chrome web browser, and it's saying John. Okay, this is showing an alert saying John. So now you have to press OK and the alert is gone. So what you learned just now, that you can declare a variable like this by using the let keyword. This is known as declaring a variable. Okay, declaring a variable, and then you can assign some value to it. Okay, like here I have assigned this John, which is a string, to this, and then you can also check that yes, it is storing John, which is a string. Okay, because when I mentioned here alert message, then it showed me an alert saying John, which is the value contained inside message, and that's really cool. Now after this, you can also do one cool thing, and that is to merge this line number 1 and line number 3 together. That means declaring and defining. When you store some value, then that step is called defining. Okay, let me write it here for you so that it will be easier for you to revise when you go through this code again. Okay, for the revision purpose. So here I am defining the variable, and here I have declared the variable. Okay, now you can perform these two steps in a single line like this. Let, here I will say date of birth. Okay, date of birth, and then I will just assign its value here. Okay, at this point, so I will say here I will pass a string inside this, and I will say January 25 2000. Okay, so this is again a string, okay, which is having month, okay, then the date and the year. So this is my date of birth. Okay, so if I want to check this, so I have to just say this alert, okay, and then pass my date of birth inside this and end the statement by the semicolon, and save this using Control S or Command S. And now go back to your web browser and click refresh. Now when you click refresh, you will see this John first time, because we have returned this alert message before this alert date of birth, and my parser is going to read this from top to bottom, line by line. So this comes first, so this message alert is displayed first, and then after this it's saying January 25 2000, and it's because of this second alert. Okay, so this is how you can define and declare a variable at the same time. So here I am defining, that is assigning it some value, and declaring, okay, declaring a variable. So this is how you can define and declare a variable at the same time. And after this, let me also show you one more thing, that you can actually declare and define more than one variables using a single let keyword like this. If I say here let user equals, I will say user is a string. Okay, I want to store a string in it, so I am wrapping this string inside my single or double quotes. Okay, remember this, a string is always wrapped inside single or double quotes. Then I am again using a next variable name, okay, age. So I am defining it and declaring it using the same let keyword, and I am saying age is 25, and then again use this comma to separate the next variable from the first one, and then I am writing some message and I want to say hello. Okay, and to end any statement in JavaScript, you always need to use this semicolon. Okay, and after this, all of these variables are declared and defined in a single step, you can see. And if you want to check them, just say alert, and here I will say age. Okay, then in next alert I will say alert, and then user. Okay, and then in next step I will say alert again, and then my message. And let me also tell you that because I have declared this variable message here, and I am declaring it again here, so this is going to produce an error, because you cannot declare a variable more than once. You can define it more than once, it means you can change its value more than once. And don't get confused, I will just remove this piece of code for now, okay? And I will explain it to you just a moment later. And I'm also going to comment out this alert and this alert as well, so that these do not show, okay? Because I am actually dealing with these three variables right now. So save this using Control S, go back to your web browser and click refresh. So now you can see the first alert is saying 25, and that's because the first alert that parser is going to encounter is alert age, and the value of age is I have just declared and defined 25. And after that it has to show this user, and that's John, and then the message which is hello. So let's see. And yeah, it's my user, that is John, and it's my message, that's hello. So I hope I made this concept very clear to you, how you are supposed to make variables in JavaScript, declare them, define them, okay? And this is quite not easy to read, okay, for a newbie. So there is a much more better way to write this statement, and let me show you how. You can just write it in this way, okay? This is the same thing, I have just written this in a separate line, and now it's much more readable than before, okay? So I prefer writing in separate lines but using a single let keyword, okay? So this is a much cleaner way of writing the code, and I want you to actually grasp all of these techniques, because that's going to make writing code super simple for all of you, okay? And after learning this much, let's get back to our slides and learn some more thing, okay? So here I am back. So we just understood this definition, that is a variable is a named storage. It means that variable have some name, okay? Like I defined my user, my age, my message, okay, and so on. And to create a variable in JavaScript, we have to use the let keyword. I hope this is crystal clear to you, all of you now. So after this, I want to actually show a real life analogy for understanding the concept of variables in JavaScript. So as I told you before, that imagine variable like a container or a box, okay, which is having some label or some name written on it. So this is my box, okay, and it is labeled as message, and I have put it something known as hello, okay, something called hello inside this. And now after some time I want to store a world in it. So when I store world in it, then this value, previous value hello, will be discarded, okay? So variable is just the same, okay? It can store some value, okay? It may be a number, it may be a string, or many other data types. And when you assign something different, then the previous value will be discarded. So this is what variable actually does, okay, behind the scenes. And after this, let me show you this thing here. So if I say here, let's say I am first declaring my variable let message, okay, and then I am storing something inside this, and I am saying hello, or rather I would say John, okay, and then I am saying alert and then message, okay, and after this I am saying no, message is now changed to Kate, okay, I am storing another name inside this Kate, then again I am saying alert message, okay. And let me comment out this 3 alerts for you, okay. Now what you have to do, just save this using Control S, okay. And also we have to comment out this code, because again we have declared message 2 times. You can see here in this statement I'm declaring message using this let keyword, and here also I'm declaring it. So I have to comment out this as well, okay. So I have commented out all of the previous code, and after this save this, go back to your web browser and click refresh, okay. So the first alert that you see here is saying John, and that's because of this alert, because right now the value of message is John, okay. And now as soon as I click OK, just watch carefully what happens. Now it's saying Kate, and that's because of this alert, which is again the message. But why it's saying Kate this time and John previously? Because as soon as my parser reaches this line number 23, it sees that the value of message has now changed to Kate, and it discards the previous value John that was stored in it. And hence it's saying that alert message, so it's showing Kate as an alert the next time. Okay, so it means that the variable is a container which can hold only one value at a time, but you can recycle it and use it for storing different values. Okay, and as soon as you replace it, then the previous value will be gone. Okay, and let me now clarify what is meant by declaring a variable twice. So let's say here I am saying let message, okay, let message equals hello. Okay, and let's see what happens. So let me already tell you that here I have declared it in this statement. I will write it here for you. Declared a variable called message. Okay, and here in this statement I have again declared the same variable. So here I have again declared the same variable message, and now it's going to trigger an error. Let's see. Save this using Control S, go back to your web browser and click refresh. And now you see nothing happens. Okay. Now to see the error, you have to right click, okay, and click on this inspect button. And after you click on this inspect button, you will see this kind of interface, and click on this console. And now you see that it's saying uncaught syntax error, identifier message has been already declared. Okay, so what does this message actually means? This information which is saying there is a syntax error. So it's just saying that your variable named message is already declared. Okay, and you have again declared it on your JavaScript file named script.js at line number 28. So let's see if that's true. And yes, this is my JavaScript file script.js, and this is my line number 28, and here I have declared it again. Okay, so this actually triggers an error. So you cannot declare a variable twice. It means you cannot use let keyword 2 times to declare or to make the same variable, but you can declare it only once and then reassign it different values as many times as you want. Okay, so this is all that I want to tell you in this lecture. Now in the next lecture we are going to study the variable naming rules. So friends, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and follow me in the next lecture where we are going to study variable naming rules and a lot more about constants in JavaScript. So see you there.